Things are going really badly for the new live action Moana remake because not only is the film getting absolutely terrible reviews, but it's also looking like it might become one of Disney's biggest box office flops of all time. Let's talk about it. But to nobody's surprise, the film debuted with a 32% score on Rotten Tomatoes. And if you don't know how Rotten Tomatoes works, because a lot of people actually don't, that means just 32% of critics that watch this film gave it any positive score, meaning like a 6 out of 10 or above pretty much. And obviously critics and people like me are very skeptical and critical of live action remakes because we think they're useless. But as it says, yeah, it's even low for live action Disney remake standards. And I want to remind everybody, like, it is still possible to make a good live action remake. Like they did it last year with a How to Train Your Dragon movie. It has a 78%. I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I give it a little bit lower score than the original just because it is basically a carbon copy, but it captures that magic pretty well. Now we will get to the box office performance in a second because it's really bad, but let's first talk about some of these early reviews. This one says virtually every aspect of this film feels as stagnant and fake as the bodysuit Dwayne Johnson wears during the film. Absolutely brutal. This person says this version has all of the original movie's issues as well as plenty of its own new ones and none of the benefits. I think this one captures most of these live action remakes perfectly. It says if you're curious what Moana would be like if it was slower, darker, and less whimsical, boy have I got a movie for you. The live action remake captures some of what made the original so magical with its song scenes, but the rest of it never finds the right tone. I'm not going to butcher this woman's name, but she plays Moana. She has been getting praised in a lot of these even super negative reviews. I'm not biased. I did find one kind of positive review from Tessa Smith. She said that she's a little surprised how much she liked this because she just loves the story so much. So hey, maybe if you absolutely adore the original, you'll still find some joy with this. But the big question at the end of the day is why do they keep making these? And obviously the answer has been that they make a ton of money, but that is not the case with this new one. Every single day that goes by, the box office predictions for this film just keep dropping more and more, and this costs a ton of money. Apparently the budget was between 150 to 175 million, somewhere in that range. So breaking down the actual numbers, ticket sales went live about a month ago and it sold only $4 million in pre-sales in that first month. For comparison, Spider-Man Brand New Day is making like hundreds of millions in its pre-sales already. And now the movie might open to lower than $50 million in its domestic debut. Reminder, Supergirl with a very similar budget just came out and opened up to $38 million domestically, and that's one of the biggest flops of all time. So this is going to be right in the same category unless things change very, very quickly. And as I mentioned, this has all been happening very quickly. A few days ago, the predictions were $130 million global opening weekend, which still would be pretty low for the massive budget. Disney was definitely hoping for like a big $200+ million opening weekend, but now those projections have fallen so much it might not even make $100 million worldwide. So under $50 million domestic, under $100 million worldwide. Is this going to stop Disney from doing this? No, because every time they have one that bombs like this or Snow White, they come out with another one like the Lilo and Stitch movie that makes $1 billion and makes them probably billions more in merch sales and makes up for all the losses and more. But if more of these movies start flopping than succeeding, I think we might finally see this trend start dying out. Like they're making a live action Tangled movie that's already in production. They have the casting and everything that's going through. But I simply think, especially with these newer movies like Moana that's barely even 10 years old, we're definitely going to be seeing a stop in them making these new live action remakes. Like, yeah, everybody adores Moana. Even though Moana 2 wasn't very good, it still made like almost, if not $1 billion at the box office because people just love this property. But it's way too soon to have this like nostalgia play and just remake the same exact movie. Why on earth would families go out and spend like $100 to take like 2 kids to the theaters when they can just watch the original on Disney Plus? There's literally no reason. Let me know, are you gonna go see the new live action Moana remake or not? And if you want to see all my newest movie reviews on the channel, click the playlist above my head, and thank you for watching.